You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Wow. It's like I've been practicing. Like I've been practicing the sound button for the last 45 minutes. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Apathetic Enthusiasm, the show where we bring on a guest here and there.
Every time.
Every episode, we have a guest, new person every time.
That's right. Today, our special guest is Travis Menard. Travis, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. Hey, how's it going? Thanks.
Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
This is the most unconventional Apathetic Enthusiasm opening ever, and maybe it's because it's been like 2 months since we did this show. But yes, hi, I'm Travis. Welcome. Follow us on social media. I'm at Jugglemino. He's at Barnyard Cruise. Matt, do you have a Twitter?
Hi, I'm Matt. I do have a Twitter. It's Soup or Sizemore. Say that fast. Sizemore.
Super Sizemore.
Super Sizemore.
Or you can follow the show at Apathusiast. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Apathetic Enthusiasm Show. Instagram, apathetic_enthusiasm. Send us an email, because some people still use email, apatheticenthusiasmshow@gmail.com. And our website, where you can find this show, as well as Interdimensional RSS. Submit it for your approval, Twilight Zone podcast, Matt's new podcast, as soon as he starts that one. That's all over at apatheticenthusiasm.com. You can support the show financially at patreon.com/RickandMortyPod, and follow us live, like so many amazing people are doing right now, over on YouTube or Twitch. That's twitch.tv/apatheticenthusiasm or youtube.com/apatheticenthusiasm. I did it. Okay, it's done.
Okay.
It's done.
Oh, nice job.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Hey, come on. It's the holidays.
Yes, I'm wearing an In-N-Out shirt, and it says California on it.
Oh, you elephant.
I flew in. I got back here to Tampa this morning, and no less than 3 people have said, In-N-Out, huh? You like In-N-Out? Like, yeah.
No, I just wear their shirts. That's it.
Wait, are you from California? Like,
No.
Yeah, I am, and I like In-N-Out. I had it 5 times in the course of a week.
Oh, I didn't have it once. Jeez. Sorry, go on.
That's not the elephant.
I had at least 3 In-N-Out meals photographed and sent to me. So yeah, I live vicariously through Brandon for the week.
Yeah, we all do.
But let's get a proper introduction. For those who are just tuning in, you might hear a different voice. It's not Travis. It's not me. It's a much bassier, much more manly, more movie phone mid-90s style voice. Or Peter Graves. You'll get that impression.
Peter Graves.
It is my friend, my great friend, my best, if you will. Sorry, Travis. Matt Sizemore.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, first off, I just want to tell you guys, it is a ridiculous honor to be on Apathetic Enthusiasm. I obviously watch you guys all the time. But regardless of that, I've been bugging the ass out of Brandon for how long now? At least over a year.
Since you started listening to and bothering us on Twitch.
Yeah.
So about 12 years ago. And I've just been saying, I'm the dude that's always leaving ridiculous comments and trying to distract one of you, and it rarely works. But I'm glad to be here now with you guys. Thank you for having me, so I can distract you in virtual person. Yeah.
I was gonna say the chat is gonna be a lot quieter during this episode. But
I could get on that too if you want.
You're gonna distract yourself in the chat. It's gonna be crazy.
I am.
But yeah. Thank you for coming on the show. You are also, for those of you listening to more recent episodes, the new Apathetic Enthusiasm bump at the front of all of our podcasts. You've been so kind as to provide us with that little soundbite. So thank you so much for doing that.
If I remember to put it into
Brandon, you better do it. Put it in your checklist or something.
checklist.
Put it in your checklist, Brandon. It's a pleasure to see you guys. Thanks for having me. Film at 11.
Matt, so we're here to talk this very special episode. This is a very every podcast they're like, hey, Star Wars, hey,
Hey.
that's the Star Wars for you. And you oh, Travis has a Star Wars bucket.
Ooh.
You and I, we'll just get this out of the way. You and I,
Okay.
boys love Star Wars, right? Oh,
Boy, did you say boys love Star Wars?
the boys love Star Wars.
Oh, sure, yeah. Oh, that's a girl though.
Boys love Star Wars. Um, we always challenge each other on who knows more about Star Wars, and
True.
we saw the Phantom Menace over at what was Man's Chinese Theater in Hollywood
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
that's right. We saw that opening day. I skipped football practice my senior year
Yeah,
to go hang out with you guys for that.
we all ditched. That was my first time ditching, I think.
Same here, I think. Yeah.
And so I thought we were both in California here for Christmas. Hey, Star Wars is coming out. Why don't we go see it together? Let's close out the saga. And really, that's why there's an excuse of you being on the show, is so we can talk about.
Dick.
So why don't we get into that? This is very free form. Nobody wrote any show notes.
I wrote 3 notes.
Oh, that's all you
I
do.
wrote Rise of Skywalker. I wrote Mandalorian. And then Rise of the Resistance ? That's if we get really desperate and haven't filled out like a whole hour of time, then I could talk about Disney World attractions. But yeah, Star Wars. So if you are watching live, if you are listening in your ear holes and you have not watched Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker or anything, and you do not want to be spoiled, Darth Vader is Luke's dad. I'm sorry.
Oh, Travis.
No.
Yeah, I said it, and I kicked my desk. So this is your warning. We will be talking about spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, go to a movie theater, get yourself educated. And yeah, what's I guess first up, what did you guys think of Rise of Skywalker? Just like initial walking out of the theater feelings on the movie.
Go ahead,
Brandon.
Matt. No, Matt, you.
Oh,
you're
jeez.
the guest. People are hearing my opinion
man.
all the time, and they're like, I don't want to listen to this guy anymore.
Right, that in and out shirt guy. All right. So I went in there. I think probably like a lot of people did with a whole lot of skepticism because of all the reviews. Everybody was saying it's the worst reviewed movie or Star Wars movie since The Phantom Menace, which had Jar Jar Binks. So, but I obviously kept an open mind because it's Star Wars. I love Star Wars more than my children, which is fine. I don't have children, so that works out beautifully. But the entire time, the main thing that I get out of this is the entire time I was entertained. There wasn't one time that I thought I'm bored or I hope this is over soon. It was I believe 2.5 hours, something like that. And it was good. I mean, it's not going to win any Oscars by any means for anything, but it was entertaining. It was decent fight scenes, great effects. The storyline was fine. It almost got me in the tear holes a couple times, almost. Not like Armageddon or anything like that, but it was close. I was thoroughly entertained. I enjoyed the whole thing, and I thought it was a fine way to end the saga.
I'm gonna argue and say it's got a good chance at sound mixing, sound editing, maybe an Oscar for that. So don't hold out hope or lose hope.
Yeah, yeah. Stay tuned for our Oscar special to talk
like
more
whenever the Oscars happen. Yeah,
just about the technical portions of the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. We should go back to the roots of this podcast. It should be like a tech thing. So let's get back to this.
Sound mixing.
Brandon, what about you? What did you think? Did you go in skeptical as well, or?
there was a difference from going into this movie than going into The Force Awakens, where The Force Awakens, The Force Awakens, I went in trying not to spoil myself, trying to avoid all spoilers, and then getting jaked at the last minute right before going into and like, hey, Kylo Ren is Han Solo's kid. Like, no, what? Why are you telling me that in line with other people who are also
And we had like bought the first tickets for like the first showing on Island. Like I waited in line for 2 or 3 hours for those seats, and then we're like walking into the theaters like, hey, you guys, you hear Kylo Ren's Solo? You guys hear that?
Were you in New York?
No, that's the
Hey!
That's a Hawaiian accent.
Oh, good to know. All right.
the kind Solo. Yeah. So there was that. This movie, I didn't care as much about spoilers, and so I went on to onto Reddit, and in Reddit you can find anything you want, and they had Star Wars speculation, Star Wars spoilers, and once the international stuff started coming out of the story, I worked a mid shift from 6 to 6 in the morning, and I'm like, let's see what's going on, and a lot of the stuff that happened in the movie was accurate in Reddit, and some people and Homar might be listening. Homar was like, oh, that sounds garbage. That sounds so terrible and shitty, and I hate it.
Jeez, Omar.
He wasn't that mean about it. Well, he might.
He might have been.
I was like, okay, all right, that doesn't actually sound that bad. I don't know why people are complaining about it already. And so knowing all the spoilers going into it, I was expecting some of those twists already. I was just looking for the execution of it,
Mhm.
and Abrams does what Abrams does, which is just nonstop action, propelling things forward. And this is a critique of him that I've seen everywhere, is he doesn't let the characters have time to breathe and to flesh themselves out. Also, that this movie should have been maybe like another movie, a little bit to kind of space it out a little bit more.
Yeah,
But
break it up into 2 movies and completely mess up the count. And
yeah,
Oh yeah.
I can't.
so I liked it coming out of it. I was with Matt, and Matt can attest. I was like, it was good.
It was good. It was entertaining. It was good. Yeah.
And then I started thinking about it more. I'm like, no, you know what? I liked it. I liked it. It was a good way to end. It was as a good a way to end the saga as you probably were going to get.
It's interesting that you guys both sort of had that it was good kind of reaction, because that was exactly how I felt walking out of the theater as well. And even people like asking me about the movie for the next couple of days, I was like, yeah, it was good. Like it wasn't like a, oh my gosh, it was amazing or anything like that. But I was wondering if that was a reaction, or the way I felt was because it was good, but at the same time it was like closing a 9 movie, how many decades? 4 decades now?
Late
like
70s, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like epic story, and this is the conclusion of it. And at the end, you can't be like, I can't wait to see what happens next. It's like, all right, yeah, we're done, and it was good. I didn't feel like they screwed it up, and so for the next like 4 days after I had seen the movie, I was like, yeah, no, it was good. Part of me really wanted to see it again to kind of digest it more and not be so wrapped up in just that first viewing and sort of keeping up with JJ as he moves us from scene to scene, but maybe pick out a few things that I might have missed the first time. So I went and saw it again on Tuesday. So I am up to 2, and there's a potential for a third. I don't know if I'll actually go a third time. But yeah, I think I liked it more the second time. And
what did you get out of it differently the second time?
I think, and this might be a credit to you and your seeking out spoilers sort of way that you live your life.
Jerk.
Where the first time I watched it, I was, trying to figure out what was going to happen and keep up with, the story and how it was going to end and, who was whose grandfather and whatnot. The second time I knew all of that. So I was maybe just a little bit more relaxed and just like looking at finer details and allowing myself restroom breaks if needed because, I knew, when there were going to be breaks in the action or whatever. But yeah, and I don't know, little subtleties with Ben Solo and his transition back to the light side, if you will. I don't know. I appreciated that more the second time. I actually wish we had more time with Ben as Ben.
Agreed there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I don't know. I think I was just able to maybe just get into some of the more finer details. I sent you a text right after I saw it the second time about the exchange where Ben is repeating his lines from that epic scene on the bridge in The Force Awakens right before he kills Han Solo.
Yeah.
And yeah, the spoilers are out. But I didn't pick up on the exchange where he was struggling for the words to say "I love you" to Han Solo, and then Han Solo says back, "I know," which is his famous retort for being told that somebody loves him, and I thought. I feel like the levels that you have to get to realize that's what was being said. I don't know. I felt like that was, I don't know. I think they pulled that off well.
Yeah. Speaking of pulling stuff off well, Matt adjusting his microphone.
Sorry.
Nailed it.
I'm on my since I live by myself, I'm on my bed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's not a solid surface, so I moved and the mic went.
I hope this isn't a casting couch type thing.
That's next. Stay tuned.
Just gonna pan down.
Yeah.
Everybody stick around for the post show on YouTube and Twitch.
Stay tuned, baby.
The I know line. As soon as you sent me that text, my response was, of course, a son and father don't know how to tell each other that they love each other.
Exactly.
Matt,
I know.
How often do you tell your dad you love him? Tell him.
Not often enough.
John.
All right. So I wanted to bring this up. We all went out of the theater saying it was good. I feel like we should have come out of the last of the Skywalker saga saying holy SH word. That was fantastic. And I feel like, I mean, I've talked to people twice my age who have not obviously, but who've seen Star Wars: A New Hope in theater. They came out thinking, I have never seen anything like this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And I figured if they're going to end this saga, if they're actually going to end the saga, they should have put, I don't even know what, something better into it to blow us all away. Again, I can only complain in a limited fashion because we walked out saying it was good. Had we said that sucked or eat my ass, that'd be the worst. Well, maybe
because a little boy, my 7-year-old would be like, well, what is eat my ass? What does that mean, Unky Size?
The movie was bad.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, like, and I think that's a lot of issues that people had ultimately was like, hey, this is the last one. Leave us out on a bang bus. Let's go out on a bang bus. And
Let's leave the theater in one.
I think they tried to with a little bit of the spoilers with like, hey, okay, the entire galaxy has been through shit with the Empire all these generations, and now here they are. They're finally all fighting back. We are all the resistance, and against the embodiment of the Palpatine with all the Star Destroyers, right? They tried to, but I would argue that J. Abrams had to balance so many different things, expectations for what is a third movie in a trilogy, and what is the ninth movie of a of a saga, and how do you tie all those lines together? I would argue that you're not going to please everyone no matter what.
True.
But and maybe that's his fault, is that he straddled that line too much.
Yeah, and I think that there is a risk where if there is some crazy out of left field sort of, oh, and by the way, it's all a dream, or they were dead the whole time, like one of those kinds of finales. There's a risk that if they try to do something very like extremely shocking, then the audience is going to reject that and be like, oh, that doesn't make sense for the story, or it invalidates everything that we watched, and we don't like that. So you have to play that a little bit safe, but at the same time, we could probably spend the next 30 minutes coming up with ideas for what could happen in the finale of Star Wars, and probably come up with some decent ideas, but
Rey is Luke's daughter.
We did it.
Luke had sex?
She's the Skywalker now.
Oh, true.
But yeah, I think fans have been, coming up with fan theories and fan fiction, and like writing actual books that were like expanded universe for this series. So there's so many ways that they could have gone, and then we just had to watch the one that they picked. Like, okay, this is the one that we went with.
Yeah.
So I want to make one more comparison, because there's a scene that I thought of that reminded me of another movie that emotionally got me several times. Avengers Endgame.
Oh.
What were you going to say?
The Adventures of Milo and Otis.
Yeah, that was the second thing it reminded me of.
Like Rey and Ren, like they were like the dog and cat being thrown into the river, which is a historic moment of animal abuse. Go ahead.
I was gonna
Avengers Endgame.
I was gonna say like Howard the Duck, where Ray was Leah Thompson and Ren was the duck.
Oh yeah. Jones was in
so
that.
Who was
Jeffrey Jones?
Leah Thompson. Jeffrey Jones, who's that?
He's the guy who turns into the evil doctor when he gets possessed by the evil alien entity at the very end. He's like the main bad guy.
I'm going to go ahead and apologize for bringing up Howard the Duck. I just don't remember anything about it other than Leah Thompson.
That's your one. Hot. That's your one.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's doing so good.
Directed by George Lucas. See, it's tying in.
It's a tie-in.
Wasn't
Never
it?
mind. You're redeemed.
I did that on purpose. Yep. So what I was thinking was the scene towards the end of this Star Wars movie. Suddenly, everybody on Earth. No, that doesn't make sense, because it's obviously not on Earth. That's just a saying we say. Everyone in the galaxy, the universe,
the galaxy, whatever. far away.
Yeah, wherever that is. It was a while ago too. Yeah. Everybody shows up, and they're like, "F word the Empire or New Order. We're here to F some SH up." That reminded me of Avengers Endgame, when suddenly all of the superheroes reappear. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to get that feeling that I did in the Avengers when that happened, that in Star Wars, and I did not get that. I was like, oh, cool, that's good. This is really good for their cause, as opposed to in Avengers. And I thought, yeah, I don't believe it.
I'm gonna pick apart your comparison here a little bit for the sake of argument and say
fight. Fight.
That reveal in Endgame is a lot about who is coming back in that moment, and
I agree. Yeah.
the fact that we've spent however many movies, growing really attached to, Black Panther, Spider-Man, whoever else got snapped. I broke his internet with my comparison. But yeah, it's a lot about who came back, and so in that scene, seeing all those people come back, it is epic the way that it's shown, but I think it's a lot about like seeing those people who we had missed for all of the first half of Endgame, and not knowing like how they'd come back and things like that. I think JJ was a little bit at a loss in Rise of Skywalker for like, all right, let's bring back all of the classic Resistance folks that we've been missing. Who do we got?
Oh, they
Wedge?
all
Wedge?
Porkins!
Can we get a tight shot on Wedge? Is that possible?
I wish we would have saw Force Ghost Porkins. That would have made movie would have immediately 5 stars for me.
So I think you're right that it definitely did not feel as epic in that moment. Yeah, it could have been a lot better. I also feel like they could have flexed some Force Ghosts like one more time with all the Jedi of the past. And
I thought you could say flex your foreskin. I was like, why would you? Come on, Travis.
I can't.
It's
inappropriate.
It takes a lot of training, but once you have it nailed,
One is all you need. Fall off.
If Ryan Johnson hadn't killed Admiral Akbar unceremoniously in Last Jedi, he could have been one of the folks in there.
Let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
No one ever really dies. Not even the past.
I mentioned getting killed off unceremoniously, which brings up the Last Jedi. So there's a whole lot of comparisons with this movie and Last Jedi. And one of the big talking points is, if you go out to any kind of blog, the initial take that they all had was Ryan Johnson immediately shitting on the Last Jedi, and moving forward, all the plot points that Ryan Johnson made, Abrams doesn't care about. And I didn't really feel like that, with very few exceptions. What did you think of that, Travis?
There are some elements from The Last Jedi that I feel quickly get sort of course corrected in Rise of Skywalker. We spent a lot of time getting to know Rose and establish her relationship with Finn, and she has this epic moment at the end of The Last Jedi where she sort of saves Finn from sacrificing himself, and then we get into Rise of Skywalker and she's just kind of around. She doesn't get to go with the core group to go on this epic journey, so she's just kind of sidelined. I felt like that. I don't know. I felt like that was sort of strange because it felt like she was really being established in The Last Jedi, and then just kind of not.
Yeah. So I say with very few exception, that is the main exception where there's backlash out there right now because Dominic Monaghan, right, got put into the movie.
Yeah.
And did you see
another classic Lost casting, right?
Yeah. Did you see how he got put into that movie?
How he got put in that movie?
Yeah, how he is cast.
Real quick, and this is gonna not mean anything to podcast listeners, but our video is so messed up right now because Matt left, and so like we're taking up half of different boxes. Like maybe if I come up this way, you duck down. There, we're good. We're good. Thanks, live viewers. Hopefully, Matt will be joining us again here shortly. But yeah, what was another sort of course correction thing that you were thinking about?
Well, I was just mentioning the thing about Dominic Monaghan was evidently he just got put into the movie with no kind of fanfare, and it was like if England beats Colombia, then Abrams would put him in the movie. And so people are like, you gave lines to Dominic Monaghan that you could have given to Rosemary Tran, right?
Yeah.
And I she us as fans of Dan Harmon and the Story Circle, she literally resists the call to adventure at the beginning of Rise of Skywalker. Like, hey, we're going to go on this adventure. No, I'm not.
I gotta fix a thing. Leia really needs me to do a thing. It's important. Just know it's important.
Just know it's important. And supposedly, the reason she doesn't have as many lines is because Princess Leia, General Leia,
Leia Organa
she died. So all the scenes Rose was gonna have, was with General Leia, General Leia, whatever. You know.
Yeah. Oh, that actually makes a lot more sense. That I guess that gives it us an excuse for why she's not in the movie as much, but I don't know. I don't think that's.
Nah, I don't think much of anything.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, no.
Matt, are you back? Are you back with us?
Ridiculous.
Matt, I think we may. I appreciate having Matt on so long. He was on his internet in Idaho. It was spot on for so long, and now everybody's getting home from work, and the 100 megabyte pipe that they have.
I have to go run it because first.
I don't know what you just said.
We have Star Wars level technology now.
All right. See you later, Matt.
All right. I'll be right back.
Bye.
Bye, Matt. Bye. Maybe he will join us again later. In the meantime, for you watching live, I'm gonna try something out. We're gonna go see if we can get us in a decent frame here. Nope, that looks awful. Oh, jeez. Anyway, all right. Let's just get back into the action here.
Let's get back into look. All in all, let's just finish this up. We don't need to talk about Star Wars anymore. All in all, I think.
It's all I have to talk about, Brandon.
It was like a 7. It was like a 7 out of 10 in my opinion. It wasn't better than Rogue One. It wasn't. I don't know if I like it better than Last Jedi or not. I do like it better than all the prequel trilogy. I don't know how people can say that Last Jedi or this movie are worse than any of the prequel trilogy, because those movies are not good.
They are not good. Absolutely. Yeah, I walked out saying I liked it better than Last Jedi. I think I liked Force Awakens more because it set the stage for this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it was good. I think I did a rewatch of everything leading up to this movie, and well, not of everything, but I didn't watch like Clone Wars series or anything like that. But it's definitely way better still than most of the prequel movies, I think. And there are a lot of people that are prequel apologists and talk about how great those movies are. So I don't know. I liked it better than those.
I agree.
All right, this is gonna look a little funky because my head looks huge, but I think I'm just gonna back away from my camera. And now we're on an interdimensional RSS frame, but at least you can see the two of us. All right, so Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. I mean, what else can you say about it? I want to know who is your favorite new character. Just real quick, rapid fire.
Dio.
Dio. I'm a big Babu Frick fan.
Oh yeah, Baba Frick.
Yeah, I think he's awesome. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't come up with any other questions for this. If you have questions for watching live, let us know about your thoughts on that. I want to know, shifting gears a little bit, but sticking with Star Wars. Disney Plus just wrapped up its premiere show. It's show that brings in all of the business and is now over for like a year. Mandalorian's 8th chapter premiered last week. Brandon, did you get a chance to watch the conclusion of season 1?
I haven't watched the last 2 episodes, but I did read about them.
Okay.
And what interested me was that it felt like you could have gone from episode 3 to episode 7 and 8, and then not have missed much. Maybe if like Cara Dune, you introduce her in like a part of episode 4, but just I again, I haven't watched them. I just read about them. But it just feels that way. Like, oh, the story starts up again in episode 7 and 8, and then we can move forward. In new ways, less Herzog ways, and more what's his face from the Breaking Bad show.
Yeah, the Mr. Los
Yeah,
Pollos Hermanos. Yeah. Yeah.
I hear good things about it. I saw the final shot of the episode, and what's cool to me is that they are kind of tying in stuff from like the animated series, that lore, bringing it into the show. Because I guess Favreau did the voice of one of the Mandalorian characters on in the animated series at some point.
Yeah, I haven't watched all of that stuff, and I need to. I know, but and now that's on Disney Plus. I think I will. I think we talked a little bit. It may have been on an interdimensional RSS. It may have been in a post show, but we talked about how you're not like crazy fired up for Mandalorian the way the rest of the internet is, and I definitely gave you the benefit of the doubt on the heist episode, if you will, which felt sort of out of nowhere. It didn't seem to tie into the rest of the season that well for me, and I don't know. The pacing of the show is pretty slow. It doesn't feel. It feels like a slow moving Western set in a Star Wars universe. I think Baby Yoda is cool. I'm sorry, I don't mean to call him Baby Yoda in public. The child is cool. I have a lot of questions about the child.
Yoda-ish child.
Yeah, just I don't know. Like the people that are. Oh gosh. Oh, Matt's back.
Oh my gosh, it's Force Ghost me this time.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, sorry, hey, I'm in Idaho and we have internet as of a week ago.
All right. We're discussing a little bit about Mandalorian and the good and the bad. I feel like a lot of the internet folks who are really frustrated with like Rey and her ability to use the Force very quickly with minimal training should not be singing the praises of Mandalorian, a show where a baby that can't speak is somehow a Jedi master. So yeah, I mean, it has its flaws.
What a baby Sue.
What?
Baby Yoda is such a baby Mary Sue, you know? Just like
Baby Mary Sue. Is that Little House on the Prairie?
No, you've never heard the term Mary Sue before?
Do they have Force?
Mary. Oh God.
I'm in Idaho.
Your Idaho internet sucks, man. Mary Sue is like, Oh,
know.
how did this woman get super powerful out of nowhere? Ugh. They use that term for.
What is this from?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure uh, the the roots of it, but they used it in Force Awakens
Yeah.
and Last Jedi for Rey. People say it towards her a lot. So my joke is now Baby Yoda,
Hmm.
Baby Mary Sue. We don't have to. We don't have to go. We don't have to keep going.
Mary Sue is an idealized and seemingly
Good.
perfect fictional character.
There you go.
Oh,
This is why we need 3 people.
good to know.
Anyway,
Yeah, originally from fan fiction, apparently.
you-
Yeah,
One
so-
never heard of any.
did you say Benihana? I can't tell because the internet is bad. Matt, how about this?
Is it? No.
We will see you. I think that's it.
Oh, geez.
I'm just gonna have to cut you off, my friend.
It's me. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to mess up your show. No.
Well, I
got,
do.
I got the Oscar playoff.
Well, while we have at least parts of Matt here, I want to say thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for being on the show. We'll have to have you back when internet is a little bit more stable. But if there are things that we can plug for you or things that you want us to plug, maybe you could try to tell us those things now.
It's not gonna.
Jeez. Thank you guys for having me. I'm sure this is on a 12 day right now, as I can see, because I'm talking. You all respond about 12 minutes later. Just thank you so much for having on. You guys are the best and my favorite. And I'm sorry that my internet is an asshole. But plugging yeah, my Soup or Sizemore. Oh, Travis is making a that's the wait. What else do I do? You can I'm a news anchor in Idaho. That's why I'm here, and it's a cool place. You can go to Matt Sizemore KIEI and press the like button. That'd be nice. Otherwise, all I got. I appreciate you guys having me. I'm sorry about my internet. I wish I could have contributed more.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much for being on the show. And Brandon, your turn.
Oh, God. Is that it? Oh, we're leaving?
No, I mean we can keep talking.
No. Fine. We'll just wrap up the show. I'll say this. The Mandalorian
Okay.
cool.
I'll-
Great.
Matt's gone, guys. He's gone.
Mandalorian's great. It's cool. It's fun. But there's a whole lot of waste in it for 3 episodes.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it. In an age where shows come out on Netflix and like the pacing of a show almost feels like a 10-hour movie because people expect to binge watch certain shows. I am curious for people that were maybe late to the Mandalorian party, what their feelings are on it now that all 8 episodes are out and you can watch them in a weekend. But yeah, I still enjoy the show. I'm curious to see if your opinion of the show changes at all after watching episodes 7 and 8. I don't think your opinions of the first 6 episodes will necessarily change, but I don't know. I like the show. I think it's pretty good. I'm interested to see where it goes from there. Yeah, and some folks in the chat saying that Baby Yoda isn't a baby. He's 50, and his appearance is due to a rare genetic condition. Read the lore. Thank you, Champ, for that.
Can you link us? Can you link us the lore for that?
Yeah.
Because clearly you've got it and it's readily available for you. So love to see it.
Could you also share with us the tragedy of Darth Plagueis, if you have time for that?
Yoda, regular Yoda, was over 500, 800 years old, something like that. And so, like if Baby Yoda, quote unquote, is 50, what's that ratio? That makes Justin said preview best Yoda. I'm inclined to think that 800 divided by 50 is 16. So I'm just gonna go 16 years old. Yoda is basically looking for Strange out on the out on the Vegas Strip. You know,
He's really hot for those ex-rebel drop troopers, and
he's looking for some yaddle. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no. I don't know. I'm curious. The mystery surrounding the child is a draw for the show. It's weird because like he looks so much like Yoda. It's easy to say, yeah, that's a baby Yoda, but I don't know. We haven't really, other than Yaddle, which I don't want to talk about. We haven't seen any other of this species, and them being very force sensitive could be something that's natural about who they are. But considering the timeline, like Yoda just died recently, and then this guy shows up, and I don't know. It's weird because part of me wants him to be like directly tied to Yoda, and part of me wants to be like, what the heck? Why is this baby able to force heal and push, giant animals around and stuff? I don't know. It's weird.
Hey, on a force heal note, Baby Yoda is the first user on TV or live action anyway to show force healing, right?
Which is where that like tie-in where they released episode 7 early so that it would be out before Rise of Skywalker hit theaters. That was the tie-in that they were trying to beat, was the fact that Baby Yoda uses force healing, and then Rey uses it like crazy in the new movie.
Yeah. Then force dyad and all that stuff. Yeah. Hey, well, next up we have the Obi-Wan show.
Which is still probably 2 years away.
We just can't get away from it. Season 2 of Mandalorian confirmed for late 2020.
Yep.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I have the same feeling I had after Avengers Endgame, which is cool. I dedicated a significant amount of time of my life to thinking about this thing. I'm okay with not actually saying anything anymore. Like I won't go see Black Widow probably. Like it looks cool, but I'm like, nah, I don't need to see that.
My hype level isn't huge for Black Widow, and that's not because it's ScarJo's movie. It just
that movie should have happened a long time ago.
Absolutely.
That's kind of insulting a little bit to give her a movie after everything's all said and done, after her character's dead already.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you, and I think that limits the impact of it as well. If you've watched Endgame and know sort of the fate of her character, then you're like, oh, and now she gets her own movie. Okay, yeah. So, all right, yeah. So anyway, you're done with Star Wars. You're never gonna watch Star Wars again. I get it. Whatever. We'll just stop having things to talk about. One last thing. As this episode is dedicated to Disney's buyout of Lucasfilm and their exploitation of all things Star Wars, new since the last time we talked anyway, a new attraction premiered at Walt Disney World.
Oh.
It is opening in January at Disneyland because there is a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at both theme parks. But I am talking about Rise of the Resistance. This is the premier attraction for each theme park or each theme park land. And it took a little bit longer to open up. So a lot of the initial backlash for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, having only one major attraction, which was Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. This attraction that just opened is the one that you want to make sure you get a chance to ride. I have not ridden it. I have been to Disney World since the last time this podcast aired.
Yeah.
And I did get to visit Galaxy's Edge, which I loved. I absolutely loved visiting and had a great time on Smuggler's Run. But the news coming out of Disney World about Rise of the Resistance makes me wish even more that I had postponed my vacation by 2 weeks
Yeah.
so that I could try to get on it. Honestly, if you're visiting Walt Disney World right now, it is a pain to get on because they use an online queue system. So as soon as the park opens, you have to reserve a boarding pass in their mobile app, and those boarding passes are usually gone within an hour once the park opens, and that is for all day. So you could, if the park opens at 7, at 7:30 you could get your boarding pass and not be able to ride the ride until late in the evening.
11 o'clock.
Yes.
Right before the fireworks.
But what I will say about this attraction is it is like a 20-minute experience. There are like 4 different parts of the ride. There is a huge story that goes through the whole thing, and the thing that I will always argue until the day I die is that Disneyland does stories really well, like Disney theme parks, Imagineering. It's not just about a cool ride, but it's about a cool experience. And they have really flexed their muscle on this one. It combines like 4 different ride elements, and all of the cast members play a part. So you start the ride like with Resistance people, and the cast members like act like rebels. And then like when you get into the area where you're on a Star Destroyer, like the cast members are like mean to you and treat you like prisoners and stuff, and they're like act like, you know, First Order, you know,
It's
officers or whatever.
It's like going to that one restaurant where they throw rolls at your face.
Which one? Dick's Last Resort?
Dick's? Is it Dick's Last? Yeah.
But anyway, I want to give a plug for that because, yes, it's going to be a pain in the butt to get on that ride for probably a little while. But I don't know, from a kid that grew up having just Star Tours as the only theme park attraction for Star Wars, it is a much better time to be a Star Wars fan if you're visiting a Disney park. So, yeah, go check that out. If you don't care about spoilers on theme park rides, go to YouTube and watch sort of a walkthrough of all of the ride elements in Rise of the Resistance. It is freaking amazing. It is very cool. And I cannot wait until, I don't know, maybe like a year from now when I'm going to go to Disneyland and try it out for myself.
You should come down and visit me sometime, and then we'll go together to Disney World.
Okay.
Come on down, man.
Yeah,
And
I'll
we'll
just
do-
I'll just tell Sheena it's a work trip, and
we'll
then
do a Comic-Con.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
work trip.
work trip.
Everybody.
I guess I have one other thing, just a short thing to say about Star Wars. I bought the game Sabacc while I was at Galaxy's Edge and played it with a group of coworkers this last week. Once we figured out the mechanics of the game and how it works, really fun game. It's kind of like space poker, and I don't know. It's different. It's poker for nerds who want to be just that much more nerdy. So
Very, very cool. I played a game called Horrified, and it takes Universal monster movies. It's a board game, and you have Dracula, you have Frankenstein, Wolfman, Invisible Man, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and the way the game works is you're trying to defeat the monster, and each monster has its own specific objective in order to beat it. And so you increase the difficulty by adding more monsters. So you can play with just 2 monsters. In the time we played it, we played with Dracula and Creature from the Black Lagoon. And each monster has basically a mini game that you have to beat. So Dracula, you have to destroy 4 coffins on all 4 corners of the board. The Creature from Black Lagoon, there's like a card on the side with like a map, and it's a boat, and so you have to get the boat to the secret lair, and only when you get to the secret lair can you defeat the monster at the very end. really, really fun. Really kind of complicated to start, as most games with a lot of reading and a lot of pieces are. But we had people who don't traditionally play those kind of complicated games with us playing and strategizing and having a good time trying to defeat Dracula.
Yeah.
We lost because Creature from Black Lagoon killed too many villagers. So
Gets them every time. Yeah, that you were sending me pictures of that game, and it looked very interesting. It's been a long time since I played a really in-depth board game like that. So I'm feeling the itch, Brandon.
come on down, Travis. Come down to Florida.
Come on down. We'll play Horrified, go ride Rise of Resistance, and do a Comic-Con all at the same time. All right. Well, that wraps up what is a slightly unorthodox, but all in all, good time here on Apathetic Enthusiasm. I want to once again thank our guest, Matt Sizemore, at Super Sizemore on Twitter, and something about being a news anchor. Yeah, we hopefully we'll be able to salvage as much of that audio as possible. But for those of you that made it this far in the podcast, thank you for listening. If you have opinions about any of the things that we talked about, whether that's Star Wars movies or TV shows or card games, whatever it is, let us know. Hit us up over at Twitter at Apathusiast and let us know your thoughts. And thank you so much to everybody joining us in the chat. We had a great group here watching along with us and sharing some comments. Looking forward to a little bit of post-show hangout with you guys. If you want to join us and you're listening on a podcast, make sure you are following on Twitch, twitch.tv/apathetic enthusiasm or youtube.com/apathetic enthusiasm, so you get notified when we go live and you can hang out with us on the internets. Brandon, it's good to talk about something other than Rick and Morty, even though we miss it so. For those of you that are watching live, Happy New Year. We're a day away from 2020. If you're listening to the podcast, it may already be New Year.
That's right. Make sure that you are doing your due Twilight Zone diligence and you are watching the Twilight Zone marathon on Sci-Fi. And if you can't watch it on Sci-Fi, watch it on Hulu. That's the next best option because that's how it was. It has like the original recordings. It has all 5 seasons to it, including the hour-long episodes from season 4.
What time does that start? Is that happening right now?
I think it's going on right now. I watched a few episodes earlier today just to make sure that I'm sticking with the tradition.
That's good,
but,
Brandon.
Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, you find it basically anywhere. YouTube if you're really feeling froggy. And my friend at the Night Gallery on Twitter, so many tweets, basically following it the whole way through. So if you're a Twilight Zone fan, make sure you're doing that.
All right,
that's all I got.
That's it. We did it. Apathetic Enthusiasm in the books. That is it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for watching. And until next time, I'm Travis.
And I am Brandon.
Bye. We made it, guys. Where's Matt? Get Matt back in here. Where's now he'll have flawless internet, I'm sure. It's my birthday on the 1st. Happy birthday, D Squeeze.
Hey, happy birthday, Squeeze.
Hulu has the best descriptions of episodes, as we all know. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Brandon, first off, hey everybody, welcome to the post show that is I don't know, where we hang out and don't actually leave when we say we're done with the podcast.
I am a dog, and let me start by saying this. One time, I ate my own poop, and yes, I was wrong. But let me say why I think that poop rights is a thing. You see, in the Declaration of Independence in 1776, George Washington wrote the following.
It's Brandon, guys. It's
a
Brandon.
dog.
He's back.
What is-
It's
The dog. It's a dog. The dog doesn't know.
the dog knows. The dog knows the
Dog
Declaration.
doesn't
of
know
Independence.
history. It's a dog. She's been alive a year. What? Just because she's been on Dogopedia.
Dogopedia. All right. Yeah. What else is
If-
going on? What are things that we missed? Some people talking about a Black Widow Punisher movie. That would be pretty sweet. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm up to date on my Netflix Punisher stuff.
No, well, it's not. It's gone. All the Netflix stuff is done.
Yeah, but I don't think I watched all of it.
Oh no, I didn't watch any of the Punisher season.
Yeah. Yoda Dinklage. That Yaddle pull. I don't remember that character.
You don't remember Yaddle?
No.
Yaddle's from Attack of the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
I think she's only in maybe Phantom Menace. She's on the Jedi Council, and then she never shows up again. She's gone.
But was she retroactively pulled from the movies in like a special edition edit?
I don't think so. No, she just was. She was in Phantom Menace, and then
Because I watched that movie like a month ago, and I still was like, "Who is that?" It's so weird. I really I don't remember her. But then I found a Twitter account that's dedicated to Yaddle this week, and I was like, "So weird." I gotta pull up my Disney Plus account now.
No, she's not. She's not retconned. Yeah, she was in. Oh, she's only in the Phantom Menace. Yeah.
Phantom Menace. How about that? How about that, kids? How about that? Middle OS2.
I mean, just go to starwars.fandom.com/wiki/yaddle.
No, I believe she exists. I just don't.
Oh, here it goes. Following the Battle of Naboo, Yaddle decided to take a less active role in Jedi affairs and left the Jedi High Council by the time of the Clone Wars. Her seat on the council was taken by Jedi Master Shock T. Well, there you go. That answers your question, Travis.
Right. That's exactly. I'm like scrubbing through the movie right now, and I'm just like, how much time are we gonna pod race in this thing?
Oh, there's so much. How long is the pod racing sequence?
So it starts, oh my gosh, at 55 minutes into the film. They're dragging their pod racers in. And Anakin wins the race at about a minute 10.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about a 15-minute scene.
It's a long scene.
Yeah, but we're totally cool with, oh, okay, here's a Jedi Council. Okay, here we go. Qui-Gon's talking to the council. Look how young Obi-Wan is. Wow.
Yeah, an impressionable Padawan.
Yeah, I'm hyped for I'm hyped for his series. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited about it.
Real quick, two things. Justin, I didn't even get to the whole sentence mentioning Wikipedia. I lived off of Wikipedia when I worked mids in 2012. I just like went through it, like what's going on with Wikipedia today, and then a wiki of Fire and Ice when Game of Thrones was still kind of fresh, and then R10NX mentions glad they're Ewoks in episode 9. Yeah, what would we have done without a cameo of Wicket?
Yeah, they're a highly undervalued contributor to, the defeat of the Empire.
Right.
Without them, the rebels most likely would have failed. And I don't think they get enough credit.
I don't think either.
Yaddle's definitely in that scene still, but she's definitely in the background. And I don't feel bad for forgetting about her.
Yeah.
I said it. I said it.
Oh man, poor Yaddle.
Poor Yaddle.
Poor Yaddle.
The mother and father of Baby Yoda. Yoda and Yaddle.
Wouldn't that be some shit? Would be some shit.
I'm so zoomed in over here.
Zoom. Yeah.
Did you have a good Christmas? Huh?
I did have a good Christmas. It's not over yet. Still got some gifts to do. The wife and kid are still in California.
California.
And so I'm here setting up stuff for their arrival. They get here tomorrow night on New Year's Eve.
Ooh, festive.
So I get to drive to Tampa Airport to pick them up.
You know, if they land after midnight, they get to skip their taxes.
What? I don't. Is that
That's- That's not a real thing. I made that up, guys. I made that up. You gotta set your clocks back a year. If
I flew first class from LAX to Tampa, or sorry, LAX to Miami, and
Bienvenido hot Miami.
let me tell you, that was a waste of first class. It was just
Do
like,
tell.
There's no plug to plug in anything, and it was like the seats are nice, but like they're still pretty uncomfortable. I don't know.
Was it a small plane?
No, it wasn't a small plane. Must have been an older plane that hadn't been refurbished. And I got on the Miami to Tampa one. My dog's dying.
Jeez.
The Miami to Tampa one was like, I had a plugger and it had a nice screen on there, and the seats were more comfortable. But my USB and my AC adapter that were attached to the seat, they did not work. And then, personal space, you know. Like,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a segment we call First World Problems with Brandon.
Let's talk about
First
personal
world
space here.
problems. First world problems, Brandon.
It's bad enough when you're on, there's 3 seats, right? You get the window, middle, and then the aisle, and people are like kind of encroaching into your personal space. It's you forgive that a little bit more because hey, you
I don't even want this skin in my personal space.
But there's only 2 seats in a row on that first class, right? And there's plenty of room. Like you can basically like you pack in like a kitchenette if you really wanted to. It's just so spacious. This guy that was sitting next to me, I had the window seat. He had his legs crossed, and his legs were crossed all the way over into my leg space. His legs were in my leg space. I'm like, you have 50 yards worth of fucking space over there, dude.
That's when I
Come on.
hit that call button. Boom. Or I don't know, first class. It's probably like in a secret compartment in your armrest or something. But
I
I'd be like,
go, and it goes, yes, sir. And then they bring me up.
they don't have call buttons. They just have a small silver bell that you ring at your seat. Also, thank you for catching that Will Smith shout out, R10NX.
And he was smelly. You have so much space, and I can still smell the dude. And he had like a Indiana Jones hat. At some point in time, you have this like really thick armrest. It's like about yay thick, right? And then there's a tray in the middle, and so plenty of room for both people to put their elbows on. This guy
I feel like Brandon, I think you need to slow down for a minute and realize that criticizing fedora wearing smelly people who don't have great social skills may be a threat to our listener demographic, and I think you should slow down.
No. Unity is different.
Unity knows better.
It wasn't
right?
a fedora anyway.
Right.
It was more like a Esteban. It was more of an Esteban hat. Not even an
Okay.
Indiana Jones. Like you know what an Esteban hat looks like? It's got the little dingly balls hanging out on the side.
For
It was,
real?
it was closer to that. Yeah.
He was excited to go to Miami.
Yeah.
He's gonna spend New Year's.
He's probably listening to this right now. Like,
Not a chance. No chance.
hey, buddy, that was me next to you.
Our tenant X was like, sorry, I really wanted to fly next to you on this plane. No, well, I'm sorry that you're waste of a first class. Did you sleep well?
I didn't. I did all right.
I mean, you're awake now. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I got home and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna stay awake the rest of the day because I landed at 8 in the morning. I stay awake the rest of the day, and then I picked the dog up from the person watching her, and then I laid down on the bed like, oh Camila, oh, and I fell asleep.
Out. Dog gets me every time. Dog's like, hey, let me sit on your lap and fall asleep and make it impossible for you to move for the rest of the day. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
I had a good Christmas. Stayed home. Sheena surprised me with the chair that I'm sitting in right now. That is, it was one of those things that struck me emotionally that I didn't expect to be so moved by. But
right.
but this is a pricey chair, and I'm not trying to flex. But this is a.
I just talked about being on first class, man.
Yeah. This is my first class office chair. But yeah, it's a Secret Lab Titan chair. I put a really budget like gamer chair on my Amazon wish list, and then she asked people at work what I actually wanted instead of what I settled for on my Amazon wish list, and got me that instead. So yeah, she's awesome. I got her a bathrobe that she thinks is too itchy. And some other stuff. I got some other stuff, but I did apologize for getting her the crappy bathrobe after I opened the chair. So, but I've only fallen asleep in this chair once so far, and that was while watching my professional football team that I follow since birth lose to a division rival. So,
nice.
Go Los Angeles Chargers! Go straight to the off season.
I watched most of that. You know what I did? You know I didn't watch, but I was watching like the Bleacher Report, like live update over
them Dolphins.
Them Dolphins. Oh,
those Kings, of the AFC East.
That's all that matters to me is that we beat the Patriots one time a season.
Good on you. I want to tell you about the audacity of the NFL app on my phone sending me a message today saying it said what did it say? Brady in LA ? How the LA Chargers should try real hard to sign Tom Brady this offseason. Can I tell you how much I don't want Tom Brady to be the quarterback for the LA Chargers? Yes.
You can tell me.
Super Bowl wins would be awesome. I'd be all for that. But I've spent so much time hating Tom Brady that for me to flip the switch like that is I mean that sort of thing has not been seen since I stopped liking Kevin Durant as much as I used to when he left for the Warriors. So anyway, yeah, Dolph. How do you say that out loud? Dolwins. Yeah. Also going straight to the off season, but on a high note.
Yeah, all that mattered to us was Fitzpatrick giving a piggyback ride to his teammate, and making sure that the Patriots have a wild card weekend for the first time since 2000. 9.
Yeah, it's pretty epic.
They'll still go to the Super Bowl, but at least they have more games to play.
Yeah. They'll be one game more tired than they would have been. Yeah.
Oh God, those bastards, man. I hope they all retire happily this year.
Yeah, sure. All right. Anybody else still hanging out in the stream? Let us know. How were your holidays? How was your Christmas, your Kwanzaa, your Festivus, your Happy Human Holiday, whatever you celebrate. Did you do anything fun? Did you get anything cool? Did you give anything cool? What are your New Year's plans? I don't know. We don't do Mad Libs for Apathetic Enthusiasm, so we're filling time as I upload my audio.
We can we can go play Underlords.
We could. That is possible.
I've done that.
A lot of updates to Underlords.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're up to speed with all your world traveling.
I have to play some more. But I do think that I have a little bit of editing to do on
maybe a bit
the podcast. So
yeah.
Probably call this one a little bit short. But I want to say thanks to everyone who is in the stream. Rachel coming in the last minute saying it was bought a cruise and vacation in Florida.
Hey, I love cruising.
Oh, cruising together.
We should,
Robinson.
Brandon. We should go on a cruise. Well, we could bring our families, but we should go on a cruise.
Okay.
Let's go this summer.
You've convinced me. No, I can't. I have my 20th year high school reunion this summer.
Oh man, you're 1 year. I always forget you're 1 year older than me. So my 20th year is the following summer. And now we've dated ourselves. No, I was just saying like maybe we should take a family vacation together this summer, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. And you have to go. Come with us.
We're invited.
We're going on a Florida cruise. I like going on cruises. I kind of want to go on a Disney cruise just because I hear they're freaking amazing. Like, not just because of the Disney aspect, but because the way Disney does like guest services and hospitality is like amazing, and the ships are all super clean and really nice and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd like to do that. Look at you guys with your beards. This isn't a beard so much as it's just not shaving for the weekend.
Yeah, it's not shaving. My dog was so annoying the entire time we were talking, and now he's sleeping on a sweatshirt.
Look at that.
Let me tell you, I want to like push her. I don't want to kick her. I want to like nudge her with my foot so she wakes up, so she can't get comfortable. Like, no, you didn't have me be comfortable for an hour and a half.
So mean, Brandon. Well, have fun on your vacation, Rachel. Shout out to the class of 00s. Everybody knows 01 is number 1. I'll be glad to watch my new Blu-ray of Glass. So glad.
You've been drinking, man.
It's perfect. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. All right.
You're right, brother. All right. Well, we're gonna take our beards and we're gonna head out. Parting thoughts, Travis.
Be good to each other. Don't make a resolution, because resolutions, people don't keep resolutions, but just I don't know, be nice to people. Yeah, excited for 2020, a new year, a new decade, same old podcast. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with another Apathetic Enthusiasm. But until then, thank you guys for hanging out. I love getting to do this. I missed it over the last couple of weeks while we weren't doing it. So we'll see you, I don't know, in a week.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do D&D this week. Maybe.
Yeah,
I think that's a plan.
I think that is the plan.
All right. Make sure that
prep.
if you want to hear the ongoing saga of the desert of Orayu, stick around this Friday night for Apathetic Enthusiasm game night. I also want to play some other games on game night. I got to figure out the logistics of that, but I'd love to see if we could like get a board game going or something and stream that for people. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
We do some Catan. All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.